are you able to?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is it moving?
Yes, sir. It is moving.
Fine. Namaskar. Good afternoon to all of you. On behalf of India Meteorological Department, on my personal behalf, I extend a warm welcome to all our friends and colleagues from press and electronic media to our monthly press conference for the month of February 2026. So today we will be presenting you the weather activities during the month of January 2026, along with the forecast of rainfall and temperature for the month of February 2026. Now let us look at the rainfall during January 2026. If you look at for the country as a whole, the rainfall was deficient. It was 31.5% deficient for the month of January 2026. It was also deficient in Northwest India, East and Northeast India, and Central India, but it was normal over South Peninsular India, 10.9% above the normal. Looking at the right-hand side picture, you will find that it gives the meteorological subdivision-wise rainfall activity. By that way, what you see that Northwest India, most of the subdivisions are either blue or green. That means there has been good rainfall activity. Blue means excess rainfall. But however, there has been deficient rainfall activity in certain parts also, like Jammu and Kashmir, Ladakh, and East UP. There has been deficient. Otherwise, the remaining subdivisions has been normal to excess. So as a result, Northeast India, if you just look at it, is 12% below normal. You may be surprised that why it is so, because maximum rainfall activity occurs over Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh in the winter month, and that has become the deficient. And that is reflected in the overall behavior of the Northwest India. If you look at Central India, West Central India got some rainfall activity, and especially West MP was normal. Otherwise, remaining parts were deficient, and even there was no rain in East Central India, like Chhattisgarh, Odisha, there was no rain. Considering the Eastern India, there was some activity, very light activity, you can say, over Bihar, Southern West Bengal, Assam, Arunachal Pradesh, Meghalaya. Otherwise, there was no rain in remaining parts like Jharkhand, against West Bengal, Nagaland, Manipur, Mizoram, Tripura. Considering the peninsular India, you find that Konkan coast got normal rainfall activity, and South Inter Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Puducherry, Kerala, it got normal to excess rainfall activity. The remaining parts were deficient. So what does it mean that the northeast monsoon rainfall was good for Tamil Nadu and adjoining Kerala and South Karnataka, but it was not spread over the remaining parts of the peninsula. If I look at the all India rainfall during January 2026, this area weighted rainfall for the month of January from 1901 to 2026, but you find that this year it was below normal, as I have told earlier. Blue line indicates the normal rainfall, and the bars indicate the annual rainfall in different years. So here what you find that it was the 25th lowest rainfall since 1901 and 11th lowest since 2001. So therefore, it is not any record-breaking lowest. So there has been many such years when rainfall has been deficient. Now, if I look at central India, the top diagram, it was the 5th lowest in 2001, and it was 13th lowest since 1901. That means central India got a very less amount of rainfall during January 2026. Similarly, East and Northeast India, if I just consider, it was the 4th lowest. While Central India was the 5th lowest, it was the 4th lowest since 2001. It was 7th lowest since 1901. So there was no such activity, you can say, very highly deficient for East and Northeast India. So therefore, to summarize, Northwest India and South Peninsular India got good rainfall activity. whereas central and east and northeast India got deficient rainfall activity. Now let us look at the temperature during January. The top panel shows the maximum temperature, minimum temperature, and mean temperature during January 2026. And the bottom panel shows the anomaly. Anomaly means the deviation from the normal pattern. So, or you can say departure. So it shows that uh, the maximum temperature was in many parts you can find that it is green, and some parts also is yellow. Yellow means it is above normal, green means it is below normal. So you can find that there is some kind of clear-cut division, like western parts, including Peninsular India, it was below normal, and the eastern part, it was above normal. If I take 80°, for example, you'll find that west of 80° longitude was below normal, and east of 80° longitude was above normal. Similarly, minimum temperature, if I just consider, it has been above normal in many parts, and some places it's below normal also. And mean temperature is the combination of maximum temperature, or you can say average of maximum temperature and minimum temperature. Now let us look at in different homogeneous regions in all India. All India, as I have told you, it was the 40th rank in terms of maximum temperature, 34th rank in terms of minimum temperature, and mean temperature 32nd rank. So that means it was all India was warmer compared to their normal in terms of both maximum temperature and minimum temperature, and hence the mean temperature. But it was not as such record-breaking warming. Northwest India, if you just consider, it is also warmer in terms of maximum temperature, minimum temperature, and mean temperature. But again, it was not a record-breaking warming. East and Northeast India, if you just consider, yes, it is also warmer, and this warming was 14th rank in terms of maximum temperatures, 20th rank in terms of minimum temperature, 11th rank in terms of the mean temperature. Central India, yes, of course, it was warmer, but again, it doesn't have any such record-breaking warming. South Peninsular India, again, it was, if we just look at maximum temperature was below normal. Normal is 30.23 and maximum was 29.69. Whatever minimum temperature was higher and mean temperature was also less than the normal. So what I want to say that there is no such record-breaking warming in month of January in different parts of the country, except East and Northeast India, which was lying as 11th position among 20th rank, you can say, for all maximum temperature, minimum temperature, and mean temperature. So monthly average maximum minimum temperature, it is the already I have discussed in the previous slide. This is only the year-wise depiction of the temperature and its departure. So you can see that the top one, this is all India maximum temperature, middle one is all India minimum temperature, and the bottom one is the all India mean temperature during the period. All the three are above normal, but it is not record-breaking. Now let us look at the heavy rainfall events. You can find out this green left-hand side diagram, India map. Green indicates heavy rainfall, that is, you can say 7 centimeter to 11 centimeter. And blue indicates very heavy rainfall, that is 12 to 20 centimeter. And then red indicates extreme heavy rainfall, that is 21 centimeter or more. So what you find that there are only two zones. One is in the northwest India, that is Jammu Kashmir, Himachal, Uttarakhand. In adjoining West UP, one event was also there. So in here also West MP, one event was there. Otherwise, it was more or less confined into Jammu Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, and Uttarakhand. And these are all heavy rainfall event. One very heavy rainfall event was there. It is not actually the rainfall, it is the precipitation, that is rainfall or snowfall. Mainly it occurs in the form of snow, but in the lower region of these states or even territories, there could be some rainfall activity. There is a combination of both. Now, another area was southern peninsula, mainly Tamil Nadu. You can just look at here. You have got the heavy rainfall, very heavy rainfall, and this is extreme heavy rainfall. So what we want to say that it was very well defined systems which caused this type of rainfall distribution. While in the northern part it was because of the western disturbances, in the southern part it was because of the easterly waves and one depression which occurred over the region in the month of January. Now looking at the table on the right hand side, I've just made it red. You can see that in 2026 there are 5 such events of very heavy rainfall events. Whereas in 2025 it was 2. 2024 was excess event year, that is 23 events of very heavy and extremely heavy event occurred. Otherwise, in 2022 was 10 and 2023 nil events. So this year, if I compare, it is similar to 2025 and 2023 in terms of heavy rainfall events. Very heavy rainfall events. Now let us look at what were those significant weather systems. The first one I will discuss on northeast monsoon. It was subdued rainfall activity till 10th January. After that, during 10 to 16 January, rainfall activity increased over peninsular India, mainly I would say Tamil Nadu, because of depression. A depression formed over Bay of Bengal. It moved across Sri Lanka, northern Sri Lanka, and affected also in terms of rainfall over Tamil Nadu, Puducherry, and Kerala. There was heavy rainfall activity over Tamil Nadu, Puducherry, and Karaikal on 13th January, and heavy rainfall activity over Tamil Nadu, Puducherry, etc. That means during the period of 11 to 14, this depression caused rainfall activity over Tamil Nadu and Puducherry. So, if you look at northeast monsoon thereafter, yes, the rainfall ceased, and northeast monsoon withdrew from the country from 19th January. No significant rainfall activity in South Central India during that period from 19th January onwards, and dry winds also prevailed over northern India, which allowed us to declare the cessation of northeast monsoon rainfall over peninsular India. Now, looking at the northern part, yes, it was the western disturbance. There were 2 important western disturbances. One is 21 to 24 January. Other one was 26 to 28 January. These 2 came one after another, so successive western disturbances, and it caused a good rainfall activity. Especially if I consider 21 to 24 January, it led to heavy to very heavy snowfall in Jammu and Kashmir, Ladakh, northern parts of Himachal Pradesh, and Uttarakhand. And it was associated with the well-marked low pressure area. It is called as induced well-marked low pressure area. When a western disturbance becomes very active, it leads to induced cyclonic circulation, some miles in the plains of the country. Sometimes that induced cyclonic circulation can intensify as a low pressure area or a well-marked low pressure area or a depression. And this time, it was well-marked low pressure area. And as all of us know that it caused a lot of difficulties. All the national highway was under snowfall. Transport was affected. And there was losses because of this snowfall activity. Then fog days over northeast and central India was there. It is a higher number of fog days in the first half of January before the occurrence of these western disturbances. The large-scale dense fog and low cloud layers prevailed over Indo-Gangetic plains and adjoining central India during 1st to 9th January mainly. After that, it disappeared because of the active western disturbances during the period, as I have mentioned earlier. In winter 25-26, if you just look at, that is December to February, January, it was observed for a very long period, like about 3 weeks from 15 December to 9 January. It was dense to very dense fog in Indo-Gangetic plains and adjoining areas. Now, let us look at the depression, the first depression of the year, and it occurred in January. It started on 7th morning and as a depression, but before that, on 5th January evening, the low pressure area formed. It became 7th January morning, it became the depression over the southern parts of Bay of Bengal and adjoining equatorial Indian Ocean, and it crossed northeast Sri Lanka, close to Mulai Tivu, that is north of Trincomalee and south of Jaffna, in the afternoon of 10th January. You can see the track here, the black dotted lines here. It crossed here on the coast and to weekend over Gulf of Mannar. that is the area between Sri Lanka and Tamil Nadu, in the midnight of 10th January. So this weekend Maru Prasad area caused the heavy to very heavy rainfall activity over Tamil Nadu. So last such activity, if I just compare with the previous years, all the depressions are shown here in the left-hand diagram in the bottom panel. You will find that there have been around 9 such cyclonic disturbances in the month of January during the period 1965 to 2024. And out of that, 3 or 4 have moved northward also. Otherwise, that is 50% moved northward and 50% moved towards the Sri Lanka. So Sri Lanka was the most prone area in terms of climatology to have the incidence of depression in the month of January if it develops over the Bay of Bengal. And it has happened like that. Therefore, I will tell the development of depression was climatological in nature, and as expected, it went towards Sri Lanka and affected Tamil Nadu. So last such activity occurred in 2023 with the formation of depression over southeast Bay of Bengal, and it moved during 30th January to 2nd February. It also crossed as a depression in Sri Lanka coast. Now let us come to the fog. You can find out these white patches, what you found here in this picture. It is date-wise, it is given here from 1st January onwards. All the dates pictures are shown here. You can find that 1st January to 9th January, this first, second, you can see, then 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th. Up to 9th, you can see the entire Indo-Gangetic plains and then central India was filled up with the fog. Even it covered from Pakistan or adjoining areas of Afghanistan, and sometimes it prevailed up to even Mizoram and Tripura across Assam and Bangladesh. So this was the large-scale fog which was prevailing till 9th of January. Thereafter, it reduced. You can see it was not continuous. There were some gap areas over West UP here, and finally it was going like that. Entire Gangetic Plains was not covered, but it went on prevailing. You can see even up to 16th of January, fog was there in some parts of North Indo-Gangetic, entire Indo-Gangetic Plains, but some parts of Indo-Gangetic Plains, you can see the fog or low clouds. So with this, now let me move towards the impact. The significant weather events what occurred in January, that you know that because of the fog, there has been many accidents. There has been many road accidents. The trains have been delayed. The aircrafts have also been affected in terms of the landing, takeoff, and hence the diversions, etc. So I'm not putting up any quantitative figure here, but these are the impacts. But the forecast and warning has been provided to national highways, to Indian railways, the state adjustment authorities, central adjustment authorities, and also all the airports, airport operators, airline operators. And there has been a massive campaign to provide a fog monitoring and forecasting, utilizing various observational tools and models developed inside, developed in-house within IMD and outside, also in the Ministry of Art Sciences. So now, if you can find that there is a patch here in northern parts of the country. You can find the color codes. There is lightning, there has been cold wave conditions, there has been also the heavy rainfall events. So these, there were 6 persons reportedly killed because of the various weather events, and 1 person was injured, and 2 livestock losses were also reported. Of these, 2 fatalities due to cold wave conditions were reported, one from Tikamgarh district of Madhya Pradesh and Una district of Himachal Pradesh. Lightning incidents resulted in 2 deaths, 1 injury, and 1 livestock loss in parts of Rajasthan, that is Dosa, Kota, and Sikar districts, while 2 deaths and 1 livestock loss were reported due to lightning in Uttar Pradesh, that is Aligarh, Bagpat, and Gautam Buddha Nagar districts. In addition, Nilgiri district, you can find out some blue patch here. Nilgiri district of Tamil Nadu was affected by extremely heavy rainfall event in the month, as I told you, because of that depression and the remnant 12-mile low pressure area during the period. That is 10 to 20, that period actually it caused rainfall activity. Now let us look at some graphical representation about the fog conditions. You can find out that all these metro subdivisions, you have seen the picture already, metro subdivisions were affected by the fog, and It was more than 16 days of fog occurrence over UP and Punjab, and also Assam and Meghalaya. There are 8 to 15 days in remaining parts of the North India and adjoining Central India, and there was no such fog conditions in Peninsular India and Gujarat. If we look at the cold day conditions, yes, cold day conditions also prevailed in northern parts of the country, and maximum cold day conditions were realized in Haryana, Chandigarh, Delhi, East Rajasthan, were 5 days. Okay, and remaining 3 to 4 days prevailed in remaining parts of Indo-Gangetic plains. The cold wave condition, if I just look at that prevailed over Himachal Pradesh and Jharkhand, maximum, that is 10 to 13 days of cold wave conditions. Otherwise, 4 to 5 days or sometimes 6 days over Chhattisgarh, cold wave conditions prevail in northern parts of the country, especially Indo-Gangetic plains and adjoining central India. Now let us look at the verification of January 2026 rainfall forecast. The observed rainfall category, if we just look at, I was telling a little earlier also, if I draw a line of 80 degree, if I draw by 80 degree, there are many parts to the west of 80 degree, you can find blue or the green. That means normal to above normal, okay? Rainfall was realized in western half of the country to the west of 80 degree east. Whereas in the eastern half, you can find here, East Central India, Eastern India, East Northeast India, northern parts of Northeast Peninsula, this area, it got deficient rainfall activity, or you can say below normal rainfall activity. So you can very well understand why it happened there. This is because of the western disturbance, which are moving rainfall like that, west to west. So western part got more rain. And this is the easterly way of South Peninsula depression, which caused rainfall activity over South Peninsula region. There was no depression or no cyclone, nothing happened towards the north, therefore there was no such activity. What is also the western disturbance which affected northwest India, that could not cause any such rainfall activity over northeast India. Therefore, northeast India was deprived from the effect of the western disturbances. Now, this was the forecast on the right hand side. You can compare now. If I compare, I will say that yes, it has resemblance in many parts, but except northeast peninsula and east central India. If I consider this area, northeast peninsula, east central India, in this part, eastern part, it was deficient in many areas, but it was predicted to be normal to above normal. So this area forecast has failed, otherwise remaining parts of the country, it has gone well. Now let us look at the observed temperature on the left-hand side and maximum temperature forecast on the right-hand side. Again, here, if I compare, what I find that it is predicted well in many parts, but except the many parts of Indo-Gangetic plains. If I look at the Indo-Gangetic plains here, you see it has become either normal or below normal maximum temperature, whereas prediction was above normal maximum temperature. Of course, it was low probability, but still it has become opposite. So Indo-Gangetic plains prediction has failed, otherwise the deepening area prediction has gone well. Now let us look at the minimum temperature. If I look at the minimum temperature, it was predicted that most parts it will normal to below normal. But it has not happened so continuously, but you can find out in this area also it is normal to below normal, here also it is normal to below normal, except this Madhya Pradesh area, which was predicted to be the below normal, but it has become above normal temperature. Other regions were very well predicted. Now let us look at the large scale conditions. This is the sea surface temperature distribution over the equatorial Indian Ocean and Pacific Ocean. You can find out that here it is blue color. That means temperature is below normal over the East Equatorial Pacific and adjoining Central Pacific. So that means if I calculate, it is become minus 0.3, 3.4. So actually it is the weekly value, but if I consider the monthly value or 3 months average, still the La Nina condition prevails. But it is moving towards neutral condition, as you can find out that now last week temperature mean has been minus 0.3. If it is minus 0. less than minus 0.5, then La Nina conditions is considered. Weak La Nina condition is continuing therefore at present, but there is a tendency, you can see week-wise, that is moving towards the neutral conditions. On the right-hand side diagram, it shows the SST anomalies, how it is it is improving towards the neutral conditions. You can find out in all the regions, especially in 3.4. So now let us look at the ENSO IOD forecast for January. Forecast based on January 2026 for the ensuing months. So here forecast you can find out for different periods, 3-monthly average it is prepared here. So La Nina conditions are persisting as I told you, but it is moving towards the ENSO neutral conditions. There is a 75% probability that it will transit during this period. January is over now, so therefore I will not say during January to March period it is written as per diagram, but this is February March. During February to March, it will transit towards the ENSO neutral condition. If you look at the individual models on the right hand side, it is also indicating that yes, temperature is rising, so therefore it is moving towards ENSO neutral conditions. If I look at IOD, Indian Ocean Dipole, then Indian Ocean Dipole, you will find that the neutral Indian Ocean Dipole conditions are prevailing, and it will continue to be neutral Indian Ocean Dipole conditions for many months, many ensuing months. That means till at least you can say April, May, the pre-monsoon season, there will be up to June, there will be the neutral IOD conditions. Like that, here you can find out neutral ENSO conditions are expected to continue even up to June or July. After that, this is June, July, August, showing slightly higher value for El Nino condition, then it goes to El Nino condition. So what I can summarize from this diagram that Indian Ocean dipole will continue to be neutral till the first half of the monsoon season, as predicted in this diagram here, and the neutral ENSO condition will continue till July. Okay. Thereafter, there is probability as per diagram that it may move towards the El Nino conditions. But however, I want to mention you here, there are 2 points. One is that the prediction of El Nino or La Nina conditions has good good predictability up to about 3 to 4 months or 5 months. If you go a longer period, the predictability decreases. Similarly, while you look at the El Nino conditions month-wise, there is something called as the barrier months, like say February and March. The prediction based on this barrier period has the less predictability. So for more clear picture may be evolved in April towards whether there will be El Nino conditions during the monsoon season of 2026. But as of now, till July, it does not seem to develop any such El Nino conditions. Neutral conditions are likely to prevail, and thereafter it is showing that there could be some El Nino conditions. Then it is MMCFS forecast and January initial conditions. It is also showing the same thing that transition of La Nina conditions are expected during the period February to April season. There will be the neutral conditions of ENSO. Now, the same thing you can find out in different diagrams here. I'm not going to discuss in detail. Now let us look at the monthly rainfall probabilistic forecast for February 2026. The left-hand side diagram shows the probability distribution. One is the below normal probability, that is yellow, orange, red color. Normal probability is the green color, and above normal probability is the blue color, light blue to deep blue. So what you find from this diagram that there are the blue patches in Rajasthan, Gujarat, and some parts of Chhattisgarh here. Mainly you can find out Rajasthan and Gujarat region, and some parts of Ladakh and Jammu and Kashmir, so green. So this is the area. Otherwise, the remaining parts, what you find actually in many parts, it is a yellow color. So yellow color stands for below normal rainfall, and this blue color stands for above normal, green color stands for normal. So considering this, what you find that below normal rainfall activity is likely in most parts of the country except some areas of northwest India and east central India. Mainly this is Rajasthan, Gujarat and Chhattisgarh and adjoining areas of Bidar and MP where we are expecting normal to above normal rainfall activity. Otherwise, remaining areas you may have the below normal rainfall activities. Now, if I consider the northwest India, which is very important for the winter season, the rabi crops, rainfall activity. So East UP, West UP, Uttarakhand, Haryana, Chandigarh, Delhi, Punjab, Himachal Pradesh, Jammu and Kashmir, Ladakh. This is called as northwest India. It is most likely to be below normal. And normal is defined as 78%. If it is less than 78%, it is called as below normal. That means plus minus 22% of the long period average is called as normal. And it is expected to be less than 78% of the long period average. The monthly rainfall over the country, if I consider, also it is expected to be below normal. That is less than 81% of the long period average. That means both northwest India and the country will have the below normal rainfall activity. But however, if you consider northwest India, yes, certain areas are expected to have normal to normal. That is Rajasthan and Gujarat and some parts of Ladakh and adjoining Jammu and Kashmir. Now let us look at the minimum temperature. Minimum temperature, you can see from this diagram, it is red and yellow only. That means it is above normal. Minimum temperature is expected in many parts of the country except Southeast Peninsula where it is green. Green means it's normal. It is expected to be normal in Southeast Peninsula, whereas remaining parts will have the above normal temperature, minimum temperature, that is night temperature. Now look at the right side diagram. Here also you'll find that most parts have the yellow to red color. That means there is probability that it will be above normal minimum, above normal maximum temperature. Then day temperature also will be above normal during February in many parts. But while looking at this color yellow to red, the red means the high probability, yellow means less probability. That means there is a high probability that in the eastern parts, that is East India, East Central India, Northeast India, parts of North Peninsula, that is, you can say, parts of Karnataka, mainly interior Karnataka, you have a high probability that temperature will be above normal. Day temperature will be above normal. Similarly, night temperature will be above normal, especially in Northwest India and West Central India. There is a red color that is indicating that there is a high probability in this region. The night temperature also will be above normal. Now let us look at the cold wave. If this is the case, then certainly the cold wave condition will be less. That is being predicted here. The whatever shaded area of finding out red or pink color, that indicates that the cold wave conditions will be less than normal days. So this is the anomaly or the deviation from the normal. How many days? You can say 2 to 3 days. You can find out in this diagram less. So whatever cold wave conditions you experience, mainly in the month of February, we get cold wave conditions in Northwest India, and Northwest India is showing that it will be less because of this higher temperatures is being predicted. मैं अभी आप सभी को हिंदी में जानकारी देने के लिए कोशिश करूंगा। फरवरी 2026 के दौरान उत्तर पश्चिम भारत के 7 मौसम विज्ञान उपमंडलों जैसे पूर्वी उत्तर प्रदेश, पश्चिम उत्तर प्रदेश, उत्तराखंड, हरियाणा, चंडीगढ़, दिल्ली, पंजाब, हिमाचल प्रदेश, जम्मू और कश्मीर और लद्दाख में मासिक वर्षा सामान्य से नीचे दीर्घावधि औसत एलपीए का लेस देन 78% होने की सबसे अधिक संभावना है। फरवरी 2026 के दौरान पूरे देश में मासिक वर्षा सामान्य से नीचे यानी दीर्घावधि औसत एलपीए का 81% से कम होने की सबसे अधिक संभावना है। देश के अधिकांश हिस्सों में सामान्य से नीचे वर्षा होने की संभावना है, सिवाय उत्तर पश्चिम और पूर्व मध्य भारत के कुछ क्षेत्रों, जैसे मैं बोल रहा था कि राजस्थान और गुजरात और छत्तीसगढ़ कुछ इलाका और लद्दाख और एडजॉइनिंग जम्मू कश्मीर के कुछ इलाका में जहां सामान्य और सामान्य से अधिक वर्षा होने की संभावना है। तापमान की बात करें, फरवरी 2026 के दौरान मासिक न्यूनतम तापमान देश के अधिकांश हिस्सों में सामान्य से अधिक रहने की संभावना है, सिवाय दक्षिण प्रायद्वीपीय भारत के कुछ हिस्सों को छोड़कर जहां सामान्य न्यूनतम तापमान की उम्मीद है। मैक्सिमम टेम्परेचर की बात करें, फरवरी 2026 के दौरान देश के अधिकांश हिस्सों में अधिकतम तापमान सामान्य से अधिक रहने की संभावना है, सिवाय मध्य भारत के कुछ इक्का दुक्का क्षेत्र और प्रायद्वीपीय भारत के दक्षिण हिस्सों को छोड़कर जहां अधिकतम तापमान सामान्य रहने की संभावना है। शीतलहर की बात करें तो देश के अधिकांश हिस्सों में शीतलहर वाले दिन सामान्य सीमा से अंदर रहने की संभावना है। हालांकि उत्तर पश्चिम और उससे सटे मध्य भारत के कई हिस्सों में सामान्य से नीचे शीतलहर वाले दिन रहने की संभावना है। जैसे कि आप देख रहे हैं कि जम्मू कश्मीर, पंजाब, हिमाचल प्रदेश, हरियाणा, चंडीगढ़, दिल्ली, राजस्थान, वेस्ट उत्तर प्रदेश, नॉर्दर्न पार्ट्स ऑफ मध्य प्रदेश, इस सभी इलाका में सामान्य से नीचे शीतलहर दिन होने का संभावना है फरवरी महीना में। अभी हम एक्सटेंडेड रेंज फोरकास्ट की बात करें कि हम दो मॉडल के आधार पर आपको एक्सटेंडेड फोरकास्ट जारी करते हैं। लेफ्ट हैंड साइड में जो मॉडल दिखाई दे रहा है, इसमें रेनफॉल एक्टिविटी जो होगा बिलो नॉर्मल रेनफॉल एक्टिविटी होने का संभावना है नॉर्थ ईस्ट इंडिया में, जैसे कि जम्मू कश्मीर, हिमाचल प्रदेश वगैरह में पहला हफ्ता में, दैट इज 29 जनवरी से 5 फरवरी, और जो सेकेंड वीक है 5 फरवरी से 12 फरवरी, जैसे आप दिखाई दे रहे हैं ब्लू कलर यहाँ अपियर हो रहा है, एक वेस्टर्न डिस्टर्बेंस अप्रोच कर रहे हैं, इसके नॉर्मल रेनफॉल होने का संभावना है। और आप पेनिनसुलर इंडिया की बात करें तो पहला हफ्ता में कुछ बारिश होने का संभावना है, मगर द्वितीय हफ्ता में एफिशिएंट रेनफॉल होने का संभावना है पेनिनसुलर इंडिया में भी। सेम चीजें दिखाई दे रही है दूसरा मॉडल पे। और इसके साथ मैं आप सभी को बहुत धन्यवाद देता हूं। अभी आप प्रश्न कर सकते हैं। Now you can ask questions and put comments also.
सर, जयश्री बोल रही हूँ हिंदुस्तान टाइम्स से।
Yes,
सर,
sir.
फरवरी में मैक्सिमम और मिनिमम दोनों ही थोड़ा सा हाई रहेगा, इसका कारण क्या है? मेनली बारिश कम होने की वजह से या क्या कुछ रीजन बता दीजिए सर।
I can just speculate. Speculation नहीं है कि मैक्सिमम टेम्परेचर ज्यादा रहने का कारण यही होगा नॉर्दर्न पार्ट्स में कि जब when you will have less number of western disturbances or less intense western disturbances, unless you have active western disturbance which can cause good amount of rainfall activity, the temperature will not fall down, so day temperature will be higher. So night temperature indicates that warmer night temperature indicates that night can be cloudy. There could be development of the western disturbances. That means it will cause some rainfall activity, but it will be still below normal. So therefore, by that way, night can be warmer and day will be also warmer. In considering the south peninsular India, already northeast monsoon has withdrawn or ceased on rainfall activity, and no such disturbance is expected to develop in the month of February. Therefore, peninsular India is also not expected to get more rainfall activity, and as a result, temperature is expected to rise. Northeast India, if you consider, as it is not affected in the month of January, Northeast India is not affected, and therefore both minimum temperature and maximum temperature was higher. This is also expected in the month of February, that western disturbance will not affect Northeast India, and hence temperature will be higher.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
सर जितेंद्र सर फ्रॉम न्यू इंडियन एक्सप्रेस सर।
जितेंद्र जी,
सर ये बताइएगा सर, लेसर रेनफॉल इन फरवरी में इम्पैक्ट द व्हीट क्रॉप एंड ऑल, और हायर टेम्परेचर इज आल्सो देयर।
Yeah, you have asked very good questions, and we have in our press release mentioned. I hope you will get it. You have not get, you will get very soon. We have added the agromet advisory services for February 2026. I'll just read some points here. So because of this the temperature scenario and the rainfall scenario what we expected, so above normal temperature may accelerate the crop growth and shorten the crop duration of the rabi crops, particularly in northwest and central India. The crops like wheat and barley may experience forced maturity, leading to sterile spikelets and chaffy grains, resulting in yield reduction. Oilseeds and pulses such as mustard, chickpea, lentil, and field pea may show early flowering and premature maturity, resulting in poor pod development, reduced short size, and lower yields. Warmer conditions may also favor rapid multiplication of aphids and other sucking pests. Vegetable crops such as potato, onion, garlic, tomato, cauliflower, cabbage, and peas may be adversely affected during critical stages like tuber initiation, bulb development, flowering, and fruit settings. Elevated temperatures can induce bolting in onion and garlic, reduce tuber bulking in potato because flower drop in potato and they create cold crops, thereby lowering yield and market value. Horticultural crops such as mango, citrus, banana, and grapes may experience early flowering, uneven fruit set, and increased fruit drop. Above normal temperatures may also reduce chilling accumulation in chilling only temperate fruits like apple, pear, and peach, leading to irregular flowering and poor fruit development. Livestock and poultry may experience heat stress, resulting in reduced feed intake, decline in milk yield and egg production, and increased susceptibility to diseases if adequate cooling and hydration measures are not adopted. So we have also included advisory. They provide light and frequent irrigation to standing crops at critical growth stages like flowering, grain filling, and tuber development to mitigate heat stress and maintain optimum soil moisture. Apply mulching to conserve soil moisture, suppress weeds around the crop root zone. Apply foliar spray of potassium nitrate and other anti-transparent to help crops to manage heat stress. Regularly monitor crops for increased incidence of insect pests such as aphids, thrips, and whiteflies. Ensure adequate drinking water, shade, and proper ventilation for livestock. So these are the few points we have given in this monthly outlook, but details will be given in our every Tuesday and Friday advisory given for next 1 week or 2 weeks. And this advisory is being developed in collaboration with the Ministry of Agriculture, ICAR, and Department of Agriculture in state governments, and also CRIDA, and then the agricultural universities, state at central level. Every Tuesday and Friday we discuss with each other, and therefore this is a generalized impact intervention what I told you and what we are mentioning in our press release, but specific information depending upon the specific area and crop and stage of the crop will be available from the concerned agriculture department. Thank you.
Sir, ये 75% chance of transition to ENSO neutral during Jan-March. What does it mean, sir? El Nino is coming. It's indicating.
It will move towards neutral condition. As I told you, if I look at weekly average of temperature, it is now minus 0.3. If it is less than minus 0.5, or for example, last, if you look at when we presented, it was minus 0.7 or minus 0.9. Now it has become minus 0.3. So therefore, it is already moving towards the neutral conditions. In the month of February or March, it will be ENSO neutral.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Dr. Mohapatra Kalyan here from Deccan Herald.
Yes, Kalyanji.
See, this year there are not much of snowfall in Kashmir, Himachal, Uttarakhand in January. Okay, the snowfall happened only after third week of January, and similar things were seen in 2023 and 25. So is something changing there?
Yeah, actually, you are correct that the snowfall activity started after 20th only, when 2 consecutive western disturbances affected, and now also it is going on. Another western disturbance is on the way now. We have predicted rain today, and it will continue till 2nd, and that will give snowfall activity, but intensity will be less compared to the previous western disturbances. And Land also will have light rainfall activity or drizzle sometimes. As you told correctly, yes, over the period of time, if we look at the rainfall activity or snowfall activity over western Himalayan region has decreased. And there are studies which say that it's because of the impact of the climate change. Am I clear? There is a decreasing trend in the rainfall or snowfall activity in the winter months over the western Himalayan region, that is Jammu Kashmir, Himachal, and Uttarakhand, as per the studies carried out by IMD and many others. And it is been attributed towards the impact of climate change by some of the studies.
Is it possible to quantify the declining trend?
I can refer you to the papers. Okay. Because there are different papers and whatever limitations in the data also, but there is some kind of findings like this. I think Dr. Naresh.
If you could share those papers in the group, sir, it would be very nice.
Yeah, I think Dr. Naresh and Dr. Janamani will help you.
Okay, thank you.
And sir, my question is, Rekha Dikshit here.
Yes, madam.
My question is, there is a decreasing trend because of climate change, you said. Like there is drier winters in the western Himalayas, we can say. But what aspect of climate change is causing this?
I don't know. If you ask me whether it is increase in carbon dioxide or it is in methane or it is greenhouse gas as a whole, I don't know. It needs that type of attribution study is very limited. But however, whatever findings we have, that we can share to you. But it's very difficult to say which gas is responsible for what. It is difficult. Am I clear, madam?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Attribution studies, I'll tell you, not only with respect to this one, everywhere. Attribution studies are very difficult and very limited studies globally, not in India only. Fine. If there is no other questions and comments, I thank once again to all of you for your kind cooperation and commitment towards our joint journey to help the society and public to mitigate the various types of hazards and optimize their activities with the utilization of weather and climate services of India Meteorological Department. So thank you very much. We'll meet again next month.